Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Miss Mamta is she's a grade one teacher at Sri Bhumika Higher Secondary School, Goa, and also she has done her MA in History English education. She's qualified SET pursuing MED student of Pali language and Buddhist culture from the Mumbai University, and she's also member of Board of Studies Goa. Mamta Padne is a poet, writer, and an educationist. I request you to unmute Ms. Padma, and we would like to hear your take on what you feel spirituality and education is all about. Kindly unmute, ma'am.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can.
Yeah. A very good evening to all. Hear me, Mamta from Goa, and I'll be dealing with spirituality in education. And my basic topic is Vipassana, the teaching of Buddha, the meditation course, and how that Vipassana is used in day-to-day life and especially in education field. So for that, initially I just would like to share a screen wherein I would like to highlight the way we conduct the Anapana meditation, that is a beginning step of Vipassana. And with this Anapana meditation, how the students can get concentration, can develop awareness, can begin with the metta. So I'll just talk about that, then I'll just deal in detail about the Vipassana meditation.
Please go ahead, ma'am. You can.
Yeah, sure. May I know whether the screen is visible?
No, ma'am. You'll have to screen share once again. You need to turn your video on and screen share, please.
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay. Meanwhile,
Ma'am, can you, is it visible?
no, ma'am. We are not able to see the presentation.
Just a minute.
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am. Instead of PPT, I'll just go as it is.
Please go ahead,
Because,
ma'am.
yeah, no problem. Basically, I'll just begin with this. That is, the Buddha is the teacher who shows the way. I am an individual who continues to show the way. Having received the inheritance of Dhamma from Buddha, the Buddha is not a person who can give Nibbana, but only one who shows the way. Do not come and ask me to get the results for you. I cannot do that. How can Uba Keen do what even the Buddha cannot? You have to practice yourself, Sayaji Uba Keen. So here I have just tried to highlight what was said by Sayaji Uba Keen. And when we say, okay, we have to include spiritualism in education, mostly what happens, we say, okay, Buddha, he started Buddhism. And first of all, I would like to make this very clear that he never started anything like Buddhism, but he began to preach Dhamma. Dhamma is the way of life. It is something that is natural aspect. We cannot see the breath which we take in or the respiration which we undergo. It is we cannot say that it is belonging to any religion. It is natural. Similar is the Dhamma that is natural. It is a pure scientific way. And Anapana and Vipassana meditation. Actually, before going and learning Vipassana meditation, I was under a lot of stress, and I was in not in position to deal with all these academic field and all the stress. But when I learned several techniques before learning this Vipassana, I could not handle myself and my mindset, so to say, and even I could not handle this children as changing scenario. But when I did my Vipassana from Mumbai, that is Gorai Mumbai Pagoda, and learned from the teaching of Goenka Guruji. And he taught in a such a way that then I realized what is the real life and what is the stressful life and how to lead and go away with these all these things. And that is how to generate awareness and how to be scientific and live in a present moment. And I felt like these are the most important things which are not taught to us in our education field. Never it was taught. Though we had value education subjects, it was taught like how to behave, what to do, but we could not reach to our inner sense. We could not develop the spirit of self evaluation, self judgment, self learning. So all these things have become much more important now in this technological field. And as technology has been advancing, and our students presently in this COVID pandemic situation are undergoing with this technological learning. I mean, they are learning through a virtual mode. And in this situation, yes, they need something that is which will take them inside, inner, means which you can make them bring out their innate capacities, innate abilities. And this is possible only through meditation, only possible through meditation and spiritual technique. And we should also always remember that religion and these spiritual techniques are totally different. And hats off to Lord Buddha. Here I'll say him Lord, I'll call him Lord because literally he was such a spiritual, such a scientific teacher who came out with a scientific technique which doesn't have any religion anywhere. No belief in any one God, that God, this God, nothing but just a belief in you and your own karmas, your own karmic accounts, what you do at the present moment, how to live happy at this moment, how to be in awareness at this moment. Because this is what is lacking in present day situation. Because now a lot of access is there everywhere. There is entertainment, a lot of access with this Google everywhere, and wherein we cannot make our children, our students to look inside and develop innate capacities. So I wanted to share you this PPT dealing with what is the Anapana technique and what is the difference in Vipassana. Vipassana is a higher step, and Anapana technique is a middle, first step, wherein from the Anapana technique, one has to go to the Vipassana. And 10 days it is taught in different regions. It's not only in India, but now it is coming in India. It's very unfortunate to say, though it was Indian in origin, but the Indians have lost that technique for several thousands of years. And again, it is coming back to India. So to say, no doubt, it was not that it was extinct, but its a resemblance is still found in so many nations throughout the world. And we are very much fortunate to see such great universities which existed in India. That is like Nalanda University, Takshashila University, Jagadala University, Odantapur University, so many universities wherein foreign students were interested to come and take admission in India. And now situation has like become like we want to go in foreign institutions and study over there. But again, trend is changing. Now with the national education policy which has come out of 2020, lot many changes will be happening. I am very much happy that these new changes are and will be seen in India, wherein we are again going back to our past. We are going back to our roots and finding out what was there in India, wherein it attracted so many foreigners to come and learn in India. They were like eager to take admission over here. There was on the if you learn about viharas, in the viharas, on the gateways of viharas, there is to be pandits who is to ask this question to the students and then only give admission in India. But They could not, and they could not manage because they could not give that spiritual answers to the questions which are asked by the spiritual gurus. And so that is like, there is a difference in Buddhism, there is difference, there is a religion which we have just given importance to, and there was Hinayana Buddhism, there was Mahayana Buddhism, then there is also a Dhamma. Just a minute, ma'am. Then Dhamma is, as I've said, it is a way of life, and it is nicely taught in a 10 days course. And in beginning, when we attend 10 days course, as we are not permitted to talk a single word in this 10 days course, I'll tell you, it was like a total different world for me. I was not knowing what to be done. Will not be able to talk for 10 days. Will I be able to manage? It was like something totally different. Waking up early at 4 o'clock, doing meditation, having less food in the late evening session. How it is possible? Like, we are so much used to this material world. But then I realized, yes, there was something which our ancestors did, and that is what we are missing. And that is why there is no proper link with the vocational education, no proper link with the material world to the spiritual world. And there is a lot to be done so that we can bring spiritualism to education. And then only I feel, with this academics and with this spiritualism, our nation and our future generation, present generation will prosper. And so to say, like, I was like very much eager to know about what is this Dhamma, what is this, how is that such a great emperor Ashok, who was, it is said that he fought Kalinga war. And in that Kalinga war, he killed his own brothers first to become a king. And then he killed thousands of people. And he had like, it was like with a mighty power, he was so much happy. And then when he attended and he visited that Kalinga battlefield, and it was a moment, and after that he came in touch with these principles of Dhamma, teachings of Buddha, like what is peace, what is compassion, what is love, what is gratitude, what is kindness, what is the joy, what is the real happiness. And when he came across all this, then he realized that yes, getting mighty power and becoming a ruler and killing so many, and killing and beginning with the violence thing, that is not the way to live. But there is something beyond that. Then is how he accepted the teachings of Buddha. He did not accept Buddhism, but he accepted teachings of Buddha. He accepted Dhamma, that is a way of life, natural way of life. Like, for example, if we do something to nature, obviously nature will give us in return. If we go on beginning with the deforestation, we will get in return. That is what is Dhamma. That is nature's law. And that is why then I was like surprised, like how that such a cruel person can change. How is that the even Anguliman, you might have heard about the stories of Anguliman, such a cruel person who was like eager to kill everyone and wearing this garland of this, their fingers being cut and all. So such a cruel person, how can he change? So such a question I had in my mind, how is it possible? Then I realized, yes, when I attended that session and when I started practicing the teachings of Buddha and with the teachings of Goenka Guruji, and every day I do practice, and I now take this practice in my class. I do teach this, I do practice it in front of my children. They are also eager to know. Even I learn when Pali language now presently from Mumbai University. I'm so much happy. I'm really, I'll tell you, I'm so much thankful to God that God is really given me so many things to learn, and there is no end to learn. Sometimes I feel very bad when I see my students, when I ask them, like, what are you doing now? They said, no, teacher, my graduation is over, nothing to be done. I am there. So I want to say that no, that is not the end of learning. Learning is a lifelong process. Go on learning a lot, you will get lot many things, and then I feel we'll realize what is real God. God is nowhere around us. No, God is nowhere in the temple, mosque, in the church, nowhere. God is in us. We have to just bring it out with the kind of depth learning and a lot to be said. And that is possible only with the spiritualism. I realized, yes, it was possible, and I could feel that happiness. I could live in this present moment. I could feel this awareness, concentration, everything. And I can directly deal with my students so well, these days, after learning this Vipassana meditation, I can directly contact them. They understand me, I understand them individually, though there are 63 students present in my class. But I can handle them so easily, and they're so surprised. I'm also surprised to see, yes, I can do this. So with this, Even Brahmi script is a great thing which you have to learn, and hats off to this NEP policy and Indian government, wherein now they are beginning with the introduction of national institutes which will be dealing with these ancient languages in India, like Pali, Prakrit. Okay, they'll be starting with this national institute, and lot many research has been going on this inscriptions of Ashoka. What were the things which were inscribed? What is the Dhamma? What are the policies? How to be benevolent to the animals and the nature? Everything is written in that Dhamma and its scriptures. So I begin in a class so that I can make my students aware of what is going on in the class. I can not only deal them with the academics but also with their real life. It raises when I start with this Anapana meditation. Actually, I wanted to show you that brochure, but in also we start with the it's a this actually I had done with this and I had done a PPT, but unfortunately it's not working, so no problem. It's even there is a reference to 5 steps to begin with Anapana meditation, how to do, and all these brochures are circulated to the students so that they are made aware what are the precepts, what to be done, what is right, what is wrong. And then we begin with 10 minutes meditation. When we before beginning of any class, at least I make them to sit quietly for 10 minutes and just make them aware of there is Anapana meditation, what it is, how to concentrate. And mostly in many spiritual world, many they come with the different things like I don't understand, and we base on something. But in Vipassana and Anapana meditation, Anapana is the basic meditation. Vipassana is a further main meditation. So Anapana is given to the children and not Vipassana. Vipassana is given to those who are beyond 20 years of age. So with that, 5 precepts are very important. I'll just read those 5 precepts which are very important, which we inform students. Abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from wrong behavior, abstain from wrong speech such as lies, harsh words, talking badly about others, and abstain from intoxicants. So these are the 5 precepts which are given to the children in a class. And then they are made aware of what is Anapana meditation, how to sit relaxed on the position, any position, wherever sitting on the ground, on the table, on the bench, anyway. Then sit relaxed, not touching each other, and sit cool and calm, and just close eyes and concentrate on the nostrils, wherein we can feel our own breath. No manipulation, no imagination. Obviously, thoughts will come, thoughts will go. That is their work. So we have to accept thought and just remain in the present. Accept whatever comes, accept, but concentrate on the breath that we take and observe like a watchman. When the breath comes in, when breath goes out, just observe, minutely observe. Observe with the awareness, observe with the real experience. Don't generate any reaction towards observation, only what is scientific. So that is what is made to the child, and that is made aware to those children, and they are made to sit relax for 10 minutes. And then I mostly start with my class, and then I'll tell you they have a lot of concentration. Obviously it increases concentration. That is what they have also told me. Yes, teacher, this is a different, something different, because that, and they feel that I only do this in my subject, so they wait for me, they eagerly wait for me. When we'll be sitting calm and relaxed for 10 minutes, and our mind will be like very peaceful, and we'll be in a position to get something. So it improves concentration. This meditation increases concentration, alertness. It develops control over mind. Memory becomes clearer. It improves decision making ability. It increases self confidence. Agitation, fear, tension, nervousness, and stress decreases. Capacity to work and study increases ability to understand others and to express oneself. This is very important in these days. Sympathy, that is. So understanding others, very, very important thing. And because these days it happens that I want that everybody should understand me, but I don't try to understand others, and how it will be, then the world will not progress. So I should develop that empathy. So mind becomes very much healthy, wholesome, strong, and one becomes full of good wishes for others. That is very important. At last, we pass that metta. It's practicing of metta for a minute or two. Then metta is conveyed. after the meditation. And when we say that metta is what? Metta is loving kindness. Means you can practice it mentally, repeating the different words like it's a loving kindness. You can give that loving kindness not only to whom you belong and who is related to you, but you can pass that metta. And that is what nicely is sung by this Goenka Guruji when he takes that meditation course for 10 days. He sings that even those who live in the sky, those who live beyond the sea, in the sea, everyone let be happy, let be peaceful, let them get whatever they want, only not expecting any desires, thinking of it. But let everyone be happy, let everyone be peaceful, let everyone be compassionate. And with these words, I'll tell you, this metta also, when we pass in the class, we feel so happy. It's a calm and very good vibration is felt. And that is what I feel, every child, if he or she gets this blessings, of practicing at least for 10 minutes in a class, maybe for a whole day, 10 minutes in the school. If not in a school, at least from the online basis, it can be done. Nothing is possible because I've seen some teachers, this I'm simply grumble, okay, how it is possible? This is not possible. New education policy, new system of education, evaluation, how it is possible? I see everything is possible. At least have some positive outlook. And with this method of loving kindness, I would also say that Yugandhar sir and you all team who is assisting him for such a great work. I hope and I'll pray to the Lord that yes, you all be happy and that loving kindness will reach to everyone in this world and let the world get really transformed. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mamta ma'am. And you're such a wonderful teacher. And I'm sure your students love your class because you bring in so much of positive energy. And may there be more and more teachers like you. Then whether it is online or offline, students will enjoy the education process.
Yeah, thank you so much.
10 minutes of meditation, I think, can change so much for them. Thank you for this beautiful message. You inspiring me to do Vipassana. So I take that inspiration.
Really,
God bless.
I'll tell you, it is really scientific in nature. That is why I accepted it. I only felt, okay, he's teaching to do this, he's teaching to believe in that God is. I wanted something which will make me to realize my own abilities. Who am I? What am I? And I'm so happy. And yes, I feel every teacher, if they undergo this Vipassana traditional meditation, will be a lot of transformation in this world. And this should reach to your teacher first. Then only they can bring a change in the child. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming and speaking to us, ma'am. And this is a small token of our appreciation. We wanted to thank you. And this is a certificate of appreciation and gratitude from the World United for being a speaker on our forum, Ms. Mamta Patne Gavas, for being an esteemed speaker in the Global Transformation Festival 2021. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for your time.